you sure not to make an impression at Comicon, because
Yeah.
you came here and then, like, well, I mean, the expectations were pretty low, but like
They were, and that was, it was a little scary with Iron Man 2, where the expectations were so high, and to really get them jazzed on that. But I remember the first time I came here with Iron Man, nobody expected anything. They were writing articles that, Marvel's, parading out the B-list heroes, who cares? And then when we showed footage, this crowd, those 5,000, 6,000 people in Hall H, became believers, and they, that was even before Twitter and before like Facebook was popular. They were blogging, they were putting on websites, and the word got out. And that's when I realized this is the way to get right to the fans. If they like it, if they don't like it, they will say it, and they'll write about it. They don't care. And if they like it and embrace it, it spreads, it ripples out. So when I got hired to do Cowboys Aliens, I said, I don't care if we're coming out in a year. We're coming out, we got another Comicon before we come out, 2 weeks before we open on July 29th. I said, this year we got to bring more than they expect. The trick with Comicon, I think, is always over-deliver. Because I've been involved with panels that are boring, where people are just sitting up there answering questions like they're on a talk show. You got 6,000 people, you got to put on a show. And you got to bring something big, because this place could make or break a movie.
And how did you manage to keep the secret of Harrison Ford showing up? Because that's a really good one that you.
Well, the big secret with Harrison Ford was kept because we didn't know if we'd have him, because he'd never been here before, and he would always joke, if I would say, you got to come to Comicon. He says, the only way is if you got to bring me in handcuffs. And I literally got handcuffs from the prop man last night, and he came and showed up, and we did. That's why we did the bit on the stage where I forced him and bound him and made him come and sit down. But hopefully he had a great time, because there was such an outpouring of affection for him. They seemed to really enjoy the footage, and certainly the minute he hit the screen, they screamed. And it's nice for film actors to see that. They don't get that. They're on the set. It's quiet. We're surrounded by the crew. We're there at 6 in the morning. We all check the gate, and everybody goes home. But here he got to see what the fans think of him and the people who grew up with him. So it was wonderful.
When you hear a film called Cowboys and Aliens is coming out, you're not quite sure what kind of movie, but this is a straight-on, like, Western, and with elements. It just so happens to have some, like, science fiction elements into it.
We really wanted to play the Western genre right down the middle. We were influenced a lot by John Ford, by Sergio Leone. I love the work that Clint Eastwood has done. Unforgiven is great. Just classic. Just pay attention to the rhythms and the archetypes of the classic Western. Typically, if you did that, you wouldn't. A lot of those films haven't been commercially successful, but even great movies, it doesn't seem to have that kind of audience. But when you introduce the whole alien element, and if you play that down the middle and mix those two together, now you got something that you could open up in the summer. And especially with the cast that we have, it really becomes something interesting and different in a genre that you don't get to play in on a movie of this size usually.